Good morning. Happy green. It's October. It's October 1st. So that means that it is time for the color of the month. This month, we are talking about green. And I know that I'm excited every month, but this color this month is one that is near and dear to my heart. And for so many reasons that we're going to talk about today, I'm so excited to bring this to you. I'm Toy Sweeney. I am the founder of A Well Dressed Brand, author of the book Secrets of a Well Dressed Brand. And I'm excited to bring this to you today for, like I said, for so many reasons. So from from Kermit to Frog, from Kermit the Frog to Keira Knightley's green dress in the movie Atonement. Remember that? To this influencer, her name is Glozell. I hope that I'm saying that right, who's known for this green lipstick. Green is just not a color. It has become a way of life for us. It's so much more than a color. It's a verb, right? There's a huge campaign that started years back about going green, and going green is all about conserving your resources, conserving energy, reducing waste, reducing pollution, reducing consumption, all of those kind of things. And this green movement, believe it or not, started in the 1960s or 1970s. Its growth was driven by popular scientists who was concerned about the local and global degradation of our physical environment, because 32% of the earth is green. And so the first Earth Day was in 1970, which makes sense because I don't ever remember not doing something for Earth Day in when I was in like high school or grade school or middle school. It's always been around. And so I am so excited to talk about it today, because I think that as the world continues to grow and move forward and hopefully get greener, green is the color of balance, harmony, and growth. And so I think that when we think about it, it's like, it's supposed to bring this sense of renewal and, and growth and all those things, which we'll get into in a little bit. So I was thinking this morning about when I started to like the color green. And so I think that, forever when I talk about color, it's been like red. Red is my favorite color. Green was not really a part of the conversation. You know that color wise, black, right? Red, white, my brand colors. And we've talked about those colors as color of the months and what they mean. And so green has not really been a part of it. But as I look back on my life the last couple of years, I have been purchasing a lot of green things. And I remember years ago when I worked at QVC, I was like, I think I'd already given my notice I was going to leave, and I had hit the sample sale, and I ended up getting this gorgeous, like forest green handbag. And and I got two of them. And so I was like, oh, and I just kind of became my staples because in my everyday life, I wear a lot of black. And so this green kind of just became this kind of game changer. And so it is not uncommon to see me bopping around town in all black, my signature red lip, and then I had gotten these glasses a couple years ago, and I cannot tell you how many compliments I get on. But I do love the color. I love the color on me, and it's one of those colors that look good depending on the hue on most people. And so if you're watching this on Instagram, I've already posted like a variety of green that we're going to be covering this month. On Tuesdays, I go live, and so around 1 o'clock, and so I'm excited about that and just taking a deeper dive into those colors. And that's the purpose of this, right? Is because I change the way that you think about getting dressed. And so one of the ways that I do that is showing you, teaching you how to use your wardrobe as a business strategy. And when it comes to color, you know that people are 92% more likely to remember the color that you're wearing over anything else that they remember about you. And then in this digital world, when we're going live and taking selfies and moving through product and a lot of digital phone calls via Zoom or whatever else we're going to use, often before you even say a word, right? People are seeing your visual image strategy that you've put in place. And so that's why I'm here. It's part of the things, one of the many things that I talk about. And so that is why we're doing this, because we want to be able to help you to think a little bit different about the way that you get dressed and how you're using color, and so you want to move through the world authentically as yourself, as a well-dressed brand, because we're going to do this thing unapologetically. And so think about your favorite colors and what they mean to you, and we've covered so many. So if you are not signed up for the Color of the Month newsletter, make sure you head over to toyswinnie.com and pick that up. I'm just going to take my glasses off because they're a little bit of a glare. So if you haven't done that, make sure that you do that, because Meg Delarange, who puts the Color of the Month together for me, she's also published my book, an exceptional friend and client. Or I guess I'm her client. um, Inside the Secrets of a Well-Dressed Brand, you can pick it up anywhere where books are sold. We do go over color and the meaning and the different things that it means to your brand. But I have to tell you, this Color of the Month and the Tuesdays deep dive are a game changer, and you're getting a lot of information. Quite honestly, that is not in my book, but I do cover. You can see it better on Instagram. Let me see if I can get. I have so many lights on, you guys. I'm sorry. Um, but anyway, I color it. I color. I cover it. I cover color a little bit more intensely on these, so I'm excited. Anyway, did you know, for those of you who have been following me, following along with the Color of the Month, you know so much about me because we share and we share. But what you may not know about me is that one of my favorite green beings, if you will, is Yoda. I am so completely obsessed with my Yoda mug. So if you go back to my show when I started a few years back, every show I was drinking out of my yoga mug, and people would comment on it all the time, and it became a little bit of a distraction. And so I didn't use it as much, but this is my Yoda mug that I got from my friend Valencia Key, Leah Key rather is her name. This is her Valencia Key jewelry that I'm wearing, and she got this for me for I think a birthday or something years ago. And you can see the wear and tear on poor Yoda because I do love it. And I remember she bought it, and I went to look on eBay for it like a couple months later because I wanted to get another one, and it was like over $100 and something. um, and it was like so affordable when she bought it for me as a gift, and I was like, oh. So I try to handle it with care because I don't want anything to happen to it. Anyway, let's jump into this Color of the Month. So the color green relates to balance and harmony from a color of psychology perspective. It is the great balancer of the heart and the emotions, creating equilibrium between head and heart. Isn't that something that we all want? From a meaning of the color perspective, green is also the color of growth. And so I think that that's why I love it so much, because when I think about going back to those years ago when I bought those handbags, purchasing my glasses, not kind of realizing what was happening in my life. And so I remember when we moved into our new house. Most of you know we've been here about a year and a half. No, not quite a year and a half, but anyway, we've been over here in our new house over a year in upstate New York. And I remember my husband, because we're coming from a house where there was color, but he knows how much I love the color black. And also we had like a black kitchen in when we lived in Pennsylvania, and we'll probably have one in this house too. But he was really concerned because he loves color, and I think he was concerned because he's like, well, what color do you want me to paint the walls? And I said, just paint everything white. And he was like, I just want to make sure, honey, that there's color. I said, I got you. And so the color that I decided to instill, and we talked about this when we were talking about the color white in April, was green. And that was a surprising color for even me. And we're, very grateful to have huge picture windows. And so our whole backyard and everything in the lush green of it all. Ebri, I know that you are all about green, and I cannot wait to post your picture of you in that green dress. So text me a couple more of those pictures because you looked stunning. And I was glad that we got to meet on on LinkedIn. Come on, you guys. Talk about building community and friendships. And then we got to meet up in Canada, and I was wearing green, and we shopped for a dress for Emery's event, and then she got something green. Like, let me tell you, the green is a way of life. So it's the sanctuary away from stress of this modern world that we live in and restoring us back to our sense of well-being. This is why there is so much of this relaxing color on Earth. 32% of the Earth is green. I love that. And why we need to keep it that way, and why you want to surround yourself with so much green. Green is an emotional, positive color, giving us the ability to love and nurture ourselves. Isn't that beautiful? And others. And so when I started on my journey last year, 2022, of healing and growth, color of growth, I think that, and that was around the time that we were moving into our house. That was when I really felt this kind of need for the color green. And I didn't even realize. I was just kind of like, oh, I like the color. But as I was looking through things today and taking pictures of my favorite room and my favorite wall in the house, and there are the rooms that contain green. And so there's so much more green in my house than I've ever had in any living space, not to mention my live plants. And we'll talk about that. If I don't get to that today, we may talk about it on next Tuesday when I go live on Instagram. So green represents harmony and balance. That's what we've been talking about. It's the great balancer of mental, emotional, physical energies, growth as in nature. Think green leaves, the plants that are still growing. And I was thinking about the question that I was posing to myself this morning was, why was it that we were, getting so wanting so many? I can't speak this morning. Why was it that so many of us were into these plants, during the lockdown, right? And I think it's kind of, for obvious reasons, right? We were kind of stuck in the house, and there are so many therapeutic benefits of plants. We couldn't, we were looking for indoor activities, the aesthetics, of course, the decor, but I think it was really about our connection to nature. Of course, boosting the indoor air quality. Plants are so beneficial for us in that way. And overall, the popularity of plants during the pandemic, I think, attributed to just the therapeutic benefits, and not to mention the therapeutic appeal, as we just said. So that was one of the things that I was kind of mulling around in my brain this morning. I'm like, oh, I wonder why, you know, we were into that so much, and it boosts your productivity. Did you know that? Concentration, your creativity, and those are all the things that we desperately needed. While we were kind of in lockdown. Plants reduce your stress and your fatigue. Again, cleaning the air, like pulling out the toxins, producing oxygen. It just, and it can give you some privacy and all those things if you do it right. But and it kind of gave us something to care for, outside of ourselves and our families, right? And so I love that. Green also represents hope. And so I had every intention of bringing something to, I wanted to show you guys something that I did not bring down with me. Let me see. Let's see. Sierra, if you're still watching, can you go into my closet, and you're going to see a scarf that is camouflage color. It's hanging because I meant to bring it down with me. If you are still watching this, can you grab that in my closet and then bring it down to my office, if you would not mind? Okay. Anyway, because I want to give you guys as we were talking about brown last month, and I told you that we are going to be covering green because the earth is brown and green, and those colors kind of go together. So I had this idea before I started the live of just kind of really wanting to show you, now that we're 10 months into this thing, how color really works together. And so with um green, it is yellow and blue together. So what you're getting, right, is you are getting the intellect of yellow. Remember in June when we talked about the color of yellow and it being the color of intellect in your mental capacity? Blue, as we talked about in, when did we cover blue? Let's see, January was pink, March. Oh gosh, I can't remember what month it was. Black was March. February. There we go. In February, we talked about the color blue. being the color of trust and calm and peace. And so green is the marriage of yellow and blue together. And so when you're thinking about getting dressed, and if you are signed up for the newsletter that you got in your inbox about 30 minutes ago, you s- you see how when we're talking about ways to wear things, and how when you're mixing a color with the other color, as far as your brand image perspective and helping you to put a strategy together, you're pulling from the meanings of all of those colors. So when you want to make that big bold kind of statement outside of monochromatic, making you look longer and leaner, it also helps you to make this power punch of an impact. And so for those of you who are signed up for the newsletter already, I did my live on for my Amazon today, and I'm wearing this monochromatic set. And I love this. This has such a funny story about this set that if I remember, I'll get back to. Well, I'll tell you now while I remember. And so, oh my gosh, there's just so much to cover this month. Really quickly. So, I have this set in multiple colors, and I'll be posting a full body shot of this probably on my Instagram later because I did take one today. But it's just this top with a great kind of, it's not quite a lantern sleeve, not a balloon sleeve, but it's a full sleeve. It's super comfortable, and it just has the matching pants. And so this is kind of what I've been using to travel in, because it's something that, and especially with the fabrication, you can dress up or dress down. I'm not so much of a sweat pant and sneaker girl. And so, and I do wear that stuff, but it's just not like massive staples in my closet like I'll do. But I'd rather run errands and something like this is my point. So I went to the greatest girls' weekend of my life last weekend in Texas. Shout out to Christy Miranda, and for putting it all together and putting me in a beach house with 13 other exceptional women who are just killing it in the game, and we just had a chance of being authentic and raw and beautiful and just helping each other grow. It was the epitome of iron sharpening iron. Anyway, so I have this in black, and I wanted to hit the beach one more time before I came back to upstate New York. And I mean, of course I have beaches here, but I was there and I was at the beach. Why would I not? So all that to say, I'm standing there, and I have on, these, which have at that point turned into sunglasses, and I'm in all black, and I'm on the beach, and I'm just having my time with the Lord, and just looking at the beauty and the waves, and I am calm, I'm calm, and I'm in another space mentally. And this woman walks up to me. Her name was Reagan, and so she walks up to me and she says, "Well, look at you looking like a picture out of Vogue magazine, and the rest of us are just schlepping around the beach." I'm like, "You're on the beach. You're supposed to have on your bathing suit and a ton of, sunblock or whatever it is, and you're not supposed to, necessarily, if that's not your thing, look like you just stepped out of Beach Vogue." And that was not my intention. I said, "I'm about to go catch my flight. This is my travel outfit." And so I just thought that was so funny because I thank you, Every. Every for those of you on LinkedIn, I mean on Instagram, I'm live on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere. And so I just got a comment that I look good in this color. So thank you. Um so anyway, I just thought that it was so amazing that it really, what you broadcast is really what gets perceived, and that's what I want to you guys to know. So anyway, that was my little talk about this set. So if you're watching this on Instagram, in my Amazon store is all the information on this. So anyway, we talked about it being um an emotionally beautiful color. Harmony, balance, growth, hope are all of these kind of amazing things in the newsletter. And I covered a little bit today. I don't want this to go on too much longer because I want you to be able to watch it. So the effects of green, the impact of green is rejuvenation, nurturing. It's dependable, agreeable, diplomatic. It revitalizes us mentally, emotionally. When you're emotionally exhausted, green is the color that you want to surround yourself with. Going back to, I think that's why it's important for you to have houseplants and have something in your wardrobe that is going to give you that kind of mentally and emotionally, exhausted. And I think that too, that's why I'm loving it so much. I just took, again, back to nurturing too. I just took a test that was talking about that. It came out that I was cognitively stressed, and it was saying that it was the Kobe test. If you guys have ever taken that assessment, I've never taken it. I'm a Fascination Advantage coach, right? And so I'm talking about mostly how you can be fascinating and in my own right. It was like, you are cognitively stressed, you must be in transition. And as I was looking into that deeper, it was talking about this happens when you've moved a lot. Well, check, right? 3 years and three moves, remember that? um when you've had a lot of death in your family, check. I mean, during the pandemic, it was 7 losses in what, 2, 3 years. And my stepfather passed away a couple months back here. And so it made complete sense that, that it's, I'm a little cognitively, I have a lot of things going on. And so Friday, I'm excited to announce that the Well Dressed Brand TV show will be back. So if you have Roku, make sure you go onto toysweeney.com and just toysweeney.com. Go onto your Roku and type in Toy Sweeney, and my app will come up so that you can catch the show live, or you can catch all of the replay shows. Have some exceptional interviews on there. But anyway, so on Friday at 10 a.m., I have Kate Donovan on the show, on the Well Dressed Brand TV show. We are talking about burnout. And so grab your favorite green things, go into my Amazon shop, buy some green stuff, go into your favorite places to shop, get your green on, and at 10, you can watch the show live where we are going to talk about burnout. And we're going to talk about the cognitive burnouts too, because if you would have asked me, I said, no, I don't feel stressed at all. I don't feel physically stressed, but I had no idea that I was cognitively stressed. And so we are taking strides to work through that and get back to a place of not being emotionally or cognitively exhausted, like so many decisions. And that's why your wardrobe and your closet has to be brand right, because some of you are suffering from decision fatigue and you're not even aware of it. So anyway, the color green is dependable, agreeable, diplomatic. Just like every color, those are the positive attributes of the colors, but then there's negative ones too. It can also come across as possessive. You know the saying green with envy, so there's an envy aspect to the color green as well. If your favorite color is green, you're practical, you're down to earth, you love nature, you're stable, you're well balanced, you're striving for balance right here. And and at times you may become a little settled or unanxious or anxious, don't we all at times? And especially, those who are of us who are going through perimenopausal, your anxiety raises and it's not something that you can control. It doesn't happen to everyone, but that's a part of menopause or perimenopausal, that all of a sudden your heart beats a little bit faster and all of a sudden you're anxious. And so I think that green again comes back to a color that you definitely have to have in your wardrobe, because it really is a way of life. Having a personality, green means you're kind, oh, you're generous, you're compassionate, you're good to have around during a crisis because you remain calm. Don't we all need a friend that remain calms? You take control of the situation until it's resolved. You are caring and nurturing with others, and you must be careful not to neglect your own needs when you're giving so much to others. Um, so that part of it is great. You are intelligent, going back to that mix of yellow. You love to learn. You are quick to understand, and you're quick to understand new concepts. I don't know, you guys. I think that after this month, I might be truly a green girl. I'm not gonna lie. I have been really thinking about changing my brand colors to incorporate green. Not green and red. We're not doing that, because as much as I love me some Christmas, we're not. We're not going to do that, but I've really been thinking about it. So, you tend to wear your heart on your sleeve. You are an open book, and you don't really hide your feelings. I love that. You dislike chaos. You strive for consistency again and balance. You understand that time is money. Where are my green people at? Um, you're business savvy. You know, you are able to delegate. You don't sweat the small stuff. and you're just aware of your environment. So I love that. It sounds like I'm a little bit of a green girl, you guys. So in different cultures, of course, as we always talk about, green can represent various things. So in the Western world, is what we've been mainly talking about today. It's all about green is associated with nature and growth, fertility, health, vitality, freshness, youthfulness. So we're talking about that. So if you are at a stage in a age in your life where you're looking to project something that's a little bit more youthful, then green is for you. And if I'm naming any of these cultures and this is part of your culture and I'm saying something that is incorrect because it's not my culture, then please correct me, because I love to learn. And so in the Islamic culture, from what I've been able to um, study and see, green is considered a sacred color. It holds deep significance. It is associated with paradise and heaven and the Prophet Muhammad. The color green is often used in Islamic art and architecture, symbolizing peace, spirituality, and fertility. And I love that all these words, outside of the negative ones, kind of bring this wave of wholeness and calmness. And I think that for me, my word this year is wholeness. And so it completely makes sense, right? That colors are a part of our life and a part of our lifestyle. It completely makes sense that I'm really leaning so much into the color green right now. In the Celtic culture, green is a strong connection to nature. It's seen as a symbol of rebirth and renewal that keeps coming up, right? It represents the lushness of the land, as well as luck, prosperity, back to fertility. Green is associated with the Celtic goddess of spring, who brings abundance and growth. I don't know anyone that if I said to you, would you like some more abundance and growth in your life? And everyone would be raising their hand like, yes, please sign me up for more abundance and growth. Right? So in Chinese culture, green is considered a symbol of fertility and harmony. It represents elements of, this says wood, but I don't know if that's correct. So please, if you know anything about that, let me know. Give me a little bit more insight on that. It's medicine, growth, vitality, healing. That makes sense to me. Green is also connected with wealth and prosperity, back to abundant wealth, prosperity, spirituality. In the Japanese culture, it is associated with nature, tranquility, harmony. Like, do you get it? It's like that rebirth, that renewing, that refreshness, right? Over and over again in various cultures. In Japanese culture, it represents life and growth energy. It is featured in traditional Japanese gardens. And you think about the bonsai tree, that makes perfect sense, right? Hindu culture, green is associated with life, celebration. It represents new beginnings, especially during festivals and wedding. Green is also linked to the goddess of prosperity. And so, oh my gosh, we have so much to talk about this month. I'm very excited. And that's just kind of our little tidbit for just to kick off the month. So I hope that you are ready. Make sure that you, again, go over to your Roku, type in my name, download the app so that you can catch the show. We're kicking back up on Fridays with Kate Donovan. Because of the color of the month is green, we're going to kick off this season with talking about burnout. And so that is the opposite of the color green. And so I'm excited about that. All right. That is all that I have for you today. Oh, I did not talk about this because I know that some of you on Instagram are going to want to know. This is the lip glow oil that I have on today. Look at the pretty tint on that. And I just have on a brown liner. This is in my Amazon shop. It's just clear. It's really pretty. And it smells really good. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for your attention and for your time. I am so excited. Next month is our last month that we're going to do it. We're going to take the month of December off to get ready for the new year and refocus and reset. So if you have not signed up for the color of the month, head on over to DoriSweeney.com and make sure you do that. So then you can catch up if this is your first time seeing this. It's coming up in your feed, all right? All right, have a great rest of your day, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this on all the other channels. I will see you next Tuesday on Instagram Live.